So lots of things have been said by Mark Pope and people around Kentucky this week. Pitchforks are out, you could say. Meanwhile, recruiting trending in a weird direction for Kentucky's program as well. We had Arifan John and Baba Oladoton both commit elsewhere with Kentucky on the final lists this week. There's kind of a short list at this point that's been whittled down to of elite prospects that Mark Pope is trying to bring in from the high school ranks. Well, yesterday in his press conference, Mark Pope was asked about recruiting and said some things about how he feels. He said, quote, I think we're really excited about where we are. I think we're feeling incredibly optimistic about adding some really special high school players. I think we're actually super excited. These were quotes that I saw courtesy of Jacob Polachek. Shout out to Jacob, our guy, KSR. Go check him out. Go support all the great work those guys are doing. Just to reset here in terms of what he might be feeling optimistic about. This is the Kentucky big board right now. Tyron Stokes, who the latest reports say Kansas is very in it and it's an unpredictable recruitment. Caleb Holt, who the latest is Kentucky is on the outside looking in, and that Alabama may be the end destination. Christian Collins, who the latest is he's going to commit to Kentucky, but it's dragging, and we're kind of wondering why it hasn't happened yet. And then Jordan Smith, who Duke has been the favorite for all along. That's the Kentucky recruiting board right now. That's the extent of it.
Hmm.
So a positive interpretation of this recruiting board would say they're getting Christian Collins and they might get Tyron Stokes. Mark Pope feeling incredibly optimistic. Do you believe Mark Pope when he says this?
Yeah, I actually do. Because I think that he is all about feelings. I think he's one of the more emotional feelings coaches that I think I've ever seen in my life, to be honest with you. So I'm just glad to see him feeling optimistic. I feel like he's been so sad lately that this optimism is probably something that should make him feel good about himself. And you know what? If you're not optimistic, then what are you in life, Gregory?
Pessimistic.
Right, which I think we've seen enough pessimism from our head coach in the past couple of days, hours, weeks, it feels like at this point. So it's good to see a little bit of joy come across his face.
So basically, even if he's performing a little bit or stretching the imagination on, the optimism with these specific targets, you're okay with it because he needs to actually show some signs of confidence and positivity.
Yeah,
I can get behind that.
I like usually for my 1 year old son, he loves his Tony box, and I put on the Snoop Dogg Tony box, and it's just like affirmations. I think that those are needed right now.
Yeah, me too. Now
There is no one better to be than myself. My feelings matter.
yeah, we have different affirmations in our house.
Can I switch it up now?
You can do whatever you want, yeah.
So I'm trying to actually get the quote. I think it was Lotto, the rapper, who said it. She said, "Do you rap or do you tweet? Because I can't tell. Get in the booth." I'd like to say that to Mark Pope. Less mics get in the booth.
Well, I mean, I think this was like a mandatory Kentucky media obligation. He always does. So he's got to take the
How many do
questions
they have? Why do all I hear is Mark Pope?
a lot.
I
It's
think we need to
Kentucky.
cut mandatory media obligations then.
Dog, if he did that, there would be 17 think pieces about how he's lost touch with the fan base.
Man, I there ain't enough money you could pay me to coach Kentucky. Actually,
Ah,
yes,
yeah, yes, there definitely
yeah,
is.
there definitely is. But in all seriousness, I think there needs to be some optimism, rah rah. It's gonna be okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you need it's gonna be okay, even if it ain't gonna be okay. It's good to hear someone tell you it's gonna be okay.
I think it's more important for him to do that with his current team, though, which is not exactly something I've heard. Anytime he's talking about the current team, he remains frustrated and pessimistic. So, I think if you take these quotes on surface value here, I think he's setting up his fans for more disappointment. because every single one of these recruitments, except for Christian Collins, has trended in the wrong direction. You have the money you have, and you're Kentucky. You absolutely should get a better class than Christian Collins.
Yeah.
Like it's all hinging on if they get Tyron Stokes or not right now. And everyone involved says, yeah, it's unpredictable. We don't know. Kentucky led at one point, but not right now.
And
So,
do you even want them?
right. And do you even want him? So I think like it's very safe to say, if we're being honest, the state of Kentucky's recruiting is very troubling. Now, Mark Pope's not going to come out and say it's troubling, but if he's setting the expectation, like we're optimistic, you're going to love our class, they might end up with just Christian Collins and you're not going to love the class. We'll see. The more concerning part of this to me is this. Like, I don't know what Mark Pope's supposed to say if you ask this type of question. His full answer included his kind of thoughts overall on like roster building. And this is what he said. The full quote, he said, I think we're excited about where we are. We're optimistic about adding some special high school players, about retaining players, and being great in the transfer portal. So that's just kind of like a generic check all the boxes. How are we going to build rosters? Well, it's going to be high school and portal and retaining our players. Talking about retaining players. What about this year's group makes you want to retain players? Do Kentucky fans want to hear that Pope's planning on retaining a bunch of his players?
I wouldn't want to retain a. Well, actually, no. Check that though. The players that we like on this team, we do want like
What players would you put
Moreno,
in the we like them bucket right now? I've got,
like players we like.
I mean, in terms of like long term future important, like I've got two.
Malachi Jasper.
I don't even know if I'd put Jasper in it right now.
Uh,
I mean, I'm sure you don't want to lose him, but like
who's the two?
Malachi, and I think we don't know what Jalen Lowe is. I don't want to like get rid of Jalen Lowe.
Yeah.
But like you go down this list of this roster, like who's like, oh, we want them to be a huge part of next year's team still. Like Aberdeen's gone, always gone.
I wouldn't stop at players with that.
Diabate going to be a dude next year. Cam Williams going to be a dude next year. Brandon Garrison going to be a dude next year. We still doing the Colin Chandler Trent Noah thing. I would not want to hear retention from Mark Pope through 2 weeks of the season right now.
I want to hear processing.
I would want to hear where Kentucky will figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
When do they play again?
Good question. Hopefully never. I
They got to win.
think it'd be fun if we just kept doing this. They play tonight.
Hopefully it's fun.
You think so?
Hopefully it's joyful.
I think it could be.